Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a story from the Old Testament that reads like a high-stakes action movie. We're talking about 2 Kings, chapters 9 and 10, and the rise of a new king named Jehu. So grab your drink of choice, get comfy, and let's get into it. Our story starts with the prophet Elisha, who sends one of his young prophets on a top-secret mission. His task? To go to Ramoth Gilead, find a military commander named Jehu, and anoint him as the new king over Israel. The prophet does exactly that, pouring oil on Jehu's head and declaring that God has chosen him to bring justice to the house of Ahab. As you might remember, King Ahab and his wife Jezebel had led Israel far from God, and their reign was marked by injustice and idol worship. The prophet delivers the message, and then, just as instructed, he bolts. Jehu returns to his fellow officers, who are naturally curious about what just happened. At first he's a bit evasive, but they press him. When he finally tells them he's been anointed king, their reaction is immediate and explosive. They don't hesitate. They throw their cloaks on the steps, blow the trumpets, and shout, "Jehu is king!" This was a full-blown military coup, right then and there. Jehu's first order of business? He tells his men, "Don't let anyone slip out of the city to report this." He gets in his chariot and drives like a madman, literally. His driving was famously furious, straight to Jezreel, where the current king, Joram of Israel, is recovering from battle wounds. And who happens to be visiting him? King Ahaziah of Judah. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A watchman sees Jehu's company approaching and sends out messengers to ask, "Is it peace?" Jehu's response is chilling. "What have you to do with peace? Get behind me." Both messengers sent out never return. Finally, King Joram himself rides out to meet Jehu. When he asks if Jehu comes in peace, Jehu lays it all out, calling out the wickedness of Joram's mother, Jezebel. Joram realizes it's a trap and tries to flee, but it's too late. Jehu draws his bow and strikes him down. He then orders his body to be thrown onto the field of Naboth, the very land Ahab and Jezebel had stolen through murder. It's a powerful moment of divine justice being carried out. King Ahaziah of Judah also tries to escape, but he too is struck down, fulfilling a prophecy against his house as well. Next on Jehu's list is the infamous Jezebel. As Jehu enters the city of Jezreel, Jezebel, ever defiant, puts on her makeup, does her hair, and looks out the window. She taunts him as he rides in, but Jehu looks up and calls out, "Who is on my side? Who?" A few eunuchs look out. He commands them to throw her down, and they do. Her end is brutal, just as the prophet Elijah had foretold. But Jehu's mission isn't over. He continues his purge of Ahab's family, as commanded by God. He sends a letter to Samaria, challenging the elders to pick one of Ahab's sons to be king and fight him. Terrified, they surrender immediately, pledging their loyalty to Jehu. He then tests them, ordering them to bring him the heads of Ahab's 70 sons. They comply, and Jehu uses this gruesome act to show the people that God's word against Ahab's house has been completely fulfilled. He's making it clear that this isn't just his own ambition. It's a divine judgment. Finally, Jehu masterminds one last dramatic event. He announces a great festival for the false god Baal, claiming he will serve Baal even more than Ahab did. He gathers all the prophets and worshippers of Baal from all over Israel into Baal's temple. Once they are all inside, he makes sure no worshippers of the Lord are among them. Then he gives the signal. His soldiers enter the temple and eliminate every single person inside. They tear down the sacred pillar of Baal and demolish the temple, turning it into a public latrine. With this decisive act, Jehu eradicates Baal worship from Israel. The story concludes by noting that while Jehu was zealous in destroying the house of Ahab and Baal worship, he didn't turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, the golden calves at Bethel and Dan. It's a complex ending. God commends Jehu for his obedience in carrying out the judgment on Ahab's house and promises his dynasty will last for 4 generations. Yet it serves as a reminder that even when we do great things for God, our hearts must be fully committed in all areas. What a powerful and intense story of justice, obedience, and the consequences of sin. It's a vivid picture of how God's prophecies come to pass, often in dramatic and unexpected ways. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. If you found this interesting, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.